I think the vice president definitely is not afraid of whatever case that will be filed. But I think it's also imperative that we need to understand it has to be within the bounds of legalities, because the impeachment, more than a political process, is also a legal battle.
Ano ho bang nakikita po ninyong trend dito nga po sa pagsagot ng pangalawang Pangulo kahapon, pag-file po niyan ng answer ad cautelam dyan po sa Kamara, kaugnay nga po dito sa itong impeachment complaints laban po sa kanya, Prof. Kung maalala po ninyo, nung unang impeachment na final sa kanya, ganun din po yung naging sagot ng Vice Presidente.
Well, basically, no, hindi naman nagbabago talaga ang stand ng ating ikalawang Pangulo, primarily because hindi rin naman nagbabago yung allegations laban sa kanya. No? So why I don't see any reason why she will change her statements or even her strategies, when in fact, there have been very, very little or if none at all. Wala namang halos talagang nagawang mga bagong paratang o mga bagong reklamo laban sa kanya. So I think she's just being consistent. She's just trying to not overreact. I would say she's not really overacting. She's just trying to really keep it simple, and I think she's sticking really to their legal battle plan on how to address these issues. And I think the vice president is really prepared for this. I think they were prepared last year, and right now I think the legal team is even more prepared. And I've actually seen the legal team. I would say that they're very formidable, and I would say that they're very, very competent, and that they could deliver the victory dito sa ating ikalawang Pangulo, kung sakasakali man talaga na aabot tayo doon sa mismong impeachment proceedings.
Dahil kung makikita mo yung strategy ng Vice Presidente noon pag-file niya ng answer ad cautelam sa Kamara, at ngayon naman ay panibagong sagot naman dyan sa Kamara, ay later on naghahain na naman siya ng reklamo dyan sa Supreme Court para questionin itong ginagawang proceedings sa impeachment ng Kamara.
Tama po yan, tama po yan. And I think what she's demonstrating here is that she is trying to explore whatever legal loopholes there may be dito sa pagkaka-file ng impeachment, at kung papaano talaga masisiguro na kung sakaling magtutuloy ito, meron talagang merito. I think the vice president definitely is not afraid of whatever case that will be filed. But I think it's also imperative that we need to understand it has to be within the bounds of legalities, because the impeachment, more than a political process, is also a legal battle. No? So kinakailangan din naman na lahat ng reglamento at lahat ng mga tamang proseso ay nasusunod din. And I think this is what the vice president is trying to tell us here, because it may set a bad precedence in the future, especially na lagi nating gagamitin ang impeachment. In short, we're weaponizing the impeachment, the filing of the impeachment against anybody that is against our political convictions. If you're against the government, they will always file an impeachment against you, even without the legal mechanisms in place. So I think this is what the vice president is trying to be certain about here, na kinakailangan talaga nandun tayo sa tamang legal requirements and legal procedures.
Opo. At kung pagbabasihan po ninyo, kukumpara po ninyo yung naging proceedings, impeachment proceedings ng Kamara doon sa kaso ng Vice Presidente at ng Pangulong Bongbong Marcos Jr., sa inyo po ba, para po ba sa inyo ay questionable po yung nagiging approach ng Kamara doon sa dalawang kaso ng pangalawang Pangulo at ng Pangulo?
Yeah, very, very questionable because I feel that the filing of the impeachment against the president was something that is staged. No? It's something that was just simply programmed, and this was something that was deliberately planned. No? And this is the reason why the succeeding impeachment complaints, no, hindi na nila, hindi naman lang nila tinignan at nagbatay lang sila doon sa 4-page impeachment complaint na i-file nung una, which clearly shows that they are doing the playbook of several seasoned politicians natin before, no, na nagamit na nga ng ibang mga panahon. And yun nga ang problema rito is that maliwanag, no, na itong mga kaalyado ng ating Pangulo dito sa Kongreso, talking about Jervil Luistro, sila Bel Zamora, they really have an axe to grind against the Vice President. It's very, very obvious, no, na ito nga nakakalungkot, nandito tayo sa gitna ng problema, may sigalo tayo sa Middle East, there's a looming crisis, pero yung mga mambabatas natin, focus lang talaga sila sa impeachment. No? Wala silang ibang nasa isip, kundi paano i-impeach yung pangalawang Pangulo. Because they believe and they know na ito na yung huling barahan nila, that if ever the Vice President will not be impeached come 2027, it will be a smooth sailing thing for her going to 2028. And that will be it, no? Kaya kinakailangan nila, they really need to work double time, triple time just to make sure that the Vice President will be impeached regardless, and even if, no, huwag na nating pakialaman ano bang mga economic imperatives ang pwede nating gawin para solusyonan itong crisis na to, ano ba yung mga pwedeng measures na i-adapt natin para kahit paano pag-aangin yung buhay ng mga Pilipino sa kinakaharap nating crisis. Ang mahalaga lang sa kanila talaga is ma-impeach itong si VP, and it's very, very obvious, no. Kaya nga itong impeachment kay Pangulong Marcos is just, for a show, no. And this administration has been very good at it, no.
Opo.
Ang administration na to ay talagang ang tinitingnan ng lagi yung drama, yung narrative, yung optics, pero yung sustansya at yung essence wala po talaga, as in zero.
Opo, kasi kung susundin mo o titingnan mo yung palawagan ng ilan, ang komento ng ilan po sa mga kababayan natin, kung pagbabatayan po itong survey sa trust rating na mas pinagkakatiwalaan nga nila daw ang Vice Presidente, doon naman sa kaso ng Pangulong Bongbong Marcos Jr., mas dehado, kumbaga, doon sa grounds ng betrayal of public trust dahil marami ang hindi nagtitiwala dito sa Pangulong Bongbong Marcos Jr. Pero hindi po pwedeng gamitin po yun sa impeachment proceeding para sa kaalaman ng ating mga kababayan.
Yeah, actually, yun nga problema, no? Dahil nga hindi naging maliwanag kung ano ba talaga yung sakop nung reklamo, kung halimbawa betrayal of public trust. Pero actually, if this really the problem, no? If ever talaga na gumagawa ka ng isang impeachment complaint na ang gusto mo lang talaga is mailihis yung mga bintang at yung accusations, you really can come up with a very shallow, a very, very weak impeachment complaint. No? Pero kung titingnan natin, ang mga kasalanan ni Pangulong Marcos sa ating bansa is sobrang dami. No? Yung weak governance na lang in itself is a very grave sin. It's a betrayal of public trust. Bakit? Kasi nung ikaw ay naihalal, meron kang kasunduan sa taong bayan na ikaw ay magsisibi ng tapat at maggagawa ka ng mga reforma na mag-aangat sa buhay natin. Pero maliwanag na hindi yun nangyayari ngayon. In fact, maraming beses, na instead na ang unahin yung kalagayan ng ating mga kababayan, mas inuuna pa nila yung pagpa-party sa Malacanang o pagpunta sa US na they're spending a lot of people's money. In short, they're very indifferent to the plight and to the concerns of the poor people. And I think this is what sets apart this administration from the previous administration, na meron talagang hindi lang tapang pero nandun yung malasakit. Dito sa atin, wala talaga tayong nararamdaman. Walang kakayahan, walang malasakit, walang concern. In short, talagang lutang at the same time, medyo lihis yung tinatahak nating landas ngayon.
Opo, bago ko ipasa kay partner Admar, Prof, mula nang nag-anunsyo ang Vice Presidente na tatakbo bilang Pangulo sa 2028, nagkaroon ho ba ng epekto po nito sa political arena? Ito ho bang nakikitang baliktad po ba ang tawag po niyan dito po sa grupo naman ng NUP na hindi susuporta doon sa impeachment laban kay Vice President Sara kung walang matibay na ebidensya ay parte po ng mga nakikita po ninyong impact din na isa lamang po ito, bahagi lamang po ito na marami pa ang parang hindi talaga tutuluyan o hindi susuporta dito sa pagpapatalsik kay Vice Presidente.
Well, I think right now, every politician in his right mind, is already calculating. They're already weighing down their political options, and they know for a fact, no, alam naman natin to, na ang ating sistemang political dito sa Pilipinas, kapag patapos na yung termino at wala namang klarong mandato na meron hahalili na that is backed up by the administration, the natural trajectory is for them to actually shift to another boat, ika nga. And right now, I think the most plausible and the most logically acceptable move for them is to side with the Vice President, because the numbers clearly show, no, the clear trust and dissatisfaction rating na nakikita natin dito kay BBM. Bakit ka pa sa kanila papanig, no? So wala kasing kasiguraduhan. Tinitignan nila dito, I believe, is no longer in the Congress, because in the Congress they may have the numbers, but what about in the Senate that will decide the impeachment, no? Because if this impeachment halimbawa, it resulted in an acquittal, hindi nito papahinain ang ating ikalawang Pangulo. Bagkus lalo nitong papalakasin, no, yung kanyang kampanya heading into 2028. Why? Because the impeachment court will already make the decision that she is not guilty, 'di ba? So in short, lahat ng mga demolition jobs, no, that they have been trying to create for the past 3, 4, 5 years will all be put down to waste. In short, lahat yun kasinungalingan lamang, you know. That's the perception at the very least na maaaring makuha ng ating mga kababayan and heading into 2028. So I think NUP, itong si Congressman Puno, they're already now thinking way ahead, and I think it's but right na masimulan nila, no? Kumbaga parang yung blind following ni BBM tsaka ni Speaker Romualdez nung sa Kongreso mawala na at magdesisyon yung ating mga congressmen batay doon sa kanila talagang paniniwala at conviction at batay doon sa kanilang political calculations, no? Maaring hindi man nila to nakikita bilang isang klaro para sa kanila na talagang si VP ay walang kasalanan, pero at least naiisip nila yung kanilang political capital, or at the very least yung constituents nila na maaaring sumusuporta kay VP Sara na dapat pinapakinggan naman nila, no? Mahirap kasi kung yung constituents mo ang groundswell, ang ground support talagang pabor kay VP Sara, pero ikaw boboto ka in favor of the impeachment. In short, you are not heeding the voice of your people and your constituents when in fact you are their representative, di ba? So sana magkaroon ng discernment at proper judgment itong ating mga congressmen bago magbotohan.